Yoga begins when we own, admit, recognize, okay, I'm not really in a state of yoga. I'm not as joined up, integrated as I could be. Sometimes I get in my own way. Sometimes I do things that are not in my own highest interest. And maybe I could do something about that. So once I acknowledge that and I come to that recognition, then I could see, oh, can I realign myself in such a way that is more harmonious? But that process would begin or depends on me acknowledging that I'm maybe not as joined up, well aligned as I could be. And so what to do about it? Well, once I acknowledge, sometimes I get in my own way. Once I acknowledge that I have tendencies or habits or patterns that are not really so helpful, then that's already empowering. Once I've acknowledged that, I can do something. And so when I see, sometimes I have this habit to just move along in an autopilot way that is no longer in keeping with my deeper longings and my true desires, then that would be like, I'm a little bit misaligned. I'm not really pointing in the direction I'd like to. I'm not, if I carry on in this trajectory, I'm going to get more and more off course. I'm not going to be really living with the type of purpose I would like to bring forth. So what can I do about it? So for me, the idea of aligning or attuning is doing what I can practically to bring myself into this state of what I sometimes refer to as at-one-ment or attunement. But as a human being, so as a human being, I have all these different instrumental powers. So we have the gifts of our minds and our emotions. We have these capacities of sensing and perceiving, of acting and doing. And so yoga works with this map from the Sankhya system, which is so beautiful, so practical. So I've got these 5 sense powers, I've got these 5 action powers. 5 action powers of speech and expression and language communication. Manual capacities, picking up, putting down, shaping, forming. Movement capacities, locomotive capacities. Digestive, assimilative, excretory, limitive capacities. And then creative, recreative capacities. Now, these are amazing powers that we have, but sometimes they can all get disjointed and pull us in different directions. Maybe you've had the experience in life, like your sense power of sight. I'd like to look at something like this. Oh, and then you hear, oh, I don't want to go and listen to that. I'd like to taste this. We can feel ourselves pulled in different directions by different senses, by different inclinations, by different desires. And when we do feel pulled in so many different directions, how does that feel, Bob? Do you enjoy feeling split, torn, fragmented?
No, of course not.
Yeah, no. But what human beings can also experience is now and again, and it might just be for fleeting moments, we taste this experience where it's like the thought, the word, the action all line up. And how does that feel? It's like I exit time almost for a moment, and I feel this fullness. And when I'm experiencing that, it's like all these different powers are attuned. They are in accord. They're in harmony. And so for me, the whole process and practice of yoga is this cultivation of a deepening, more robust, resilient harmony, one that's adaptable, this dynamic equilibrium. So it's not a fixed point. It's as I cultivate my awareness, I'm better able to calibrate and recalibrate and respond to the inevitable changes and challenges of life from a center that's more balanced. So just like when we're learning to walk as a child, we're developing all our proprioceptive capacities so we can put one foot in front of another and stay on our feet. And every time we stumble, we learn what it means to be able to balance on 2 feet and walk forwards and perhaps backwards and side to sides and eventually pirouette and run and jump and all the rest of it. Similarly, in yoga practice, it's about learning to stay balanced in this amazing arena of life with all these different influences that push and pull us in different directions. So sometimes we'll stumble. Sometimes we'll come out of alignment. We'll come out of tune. We'll come off balance. But if we are doing the basic yoga practice of doing what we can to be alert, to be attentive, then once we notice that we're off, then we can come back. And when we take recourse to yoga techniques like meditation, for example, cultivating the medi state, once we've invited ourselves into that, relatively speaking, tuned, balanced state, we've got a reference. And when we come away, we can notice a little bit more easily and then invite ourselves back to the center, perhaps a little bit more skillfully than we might have been able to do beforehand.